Podcast, Episode 3 with your host, Nathan Shields, a.k.a. Osiren. You can find the website at www.powerupfighters.com. Also, you can subscribe to this podcast via iTunes or check out our YouTube channel. That is capital OSIRUN 13, all one word, and you can find some great videos from fighting games. Today we're going to be talking about Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Everybody's really excited about the downloadable content coming out, and I've managed to get a hold of a really great kind of legendary player from the area, and his name is Gabby. Introduce yourself.
I am Gabby Arceo, and my idol is Ryu, and I kind of took that name up just because I liked him so much. Started playing Marvel maybe 03 or 04, and I kind of got bored and disappeared, and
Awesome.
That's about it.
Well, we'll get into that more later. We're also joined again by Anchor.
Hello.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's start off with, you said you started playing around 03, 04, so that was a few years after Marvel 2 came out, right?
Yeah, I thought Marvel came out in like 99 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
2000.
2000.
But I picked up my first copy for Dreamcast like in 03.
Nice.
So
did you basically learn everything that there was to learn on your own, or did you have a mentor?
I picked it up. I think I would get tips from Magneto's little claw slide method, and that was about it. I would just play.
All right.
So
you got skill. You kept gaining skill. Amanda's Anchors told me that you played at Pocket Change a lot.
Yeah.
Was that where you got like into the competitive scene of Marvel?
Kind of. I think I'm just naturally competitive at whatever I do.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I actually started playing Tekken 4 because I kind of excelled at that, and there was a lot of people playing that, and I got pretty decent at that game. But everyone started playing Marvel, and then I was like, I don't know why I don't play that, because I mean, I was all about Street Fighter really, and then I just quit playing Tekken and started jumping on that.
So you picked up Marvel after you started seeing people play it at the arcade?
Yeah, I think it was the fact that everyone was playing that instead is what made me go over there and play.
Yeah,
so.
Go with what's popular, what people are playing. That's where the competition
and
is.
No one was playing Tekken, so
right.
I was playing by myself.
And you saw all those people having like the most fun time ever at the Marvel arcade.
Yeah, all that trash talking.
You really wanted to be a part of that, didn't you?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you were leveling up, so to speak. You were getting better at the game. When did you know that, you had arrived, that you had become this great player?
It's so weird, like...
Was it when you beat 2K for the first time?
Well, I mean, first of all, like, I'm flattered you guys, call me a great player and, like, legendary and all that, which I think I'm just like anyone else. But,
you're not, though. Like...
I mean... Alright, you already asked the question. I guess probably when I felt like I could say that I was good was probably when... I don't know, maybe when I beat Kenny.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because I met Kenny.
Lord.
I met this guy, I think his last name is Duncan. Kenny Duncan.
Mm.
And the way he played, I mean, he's known to turtle and sit back. But if you make one mistake, he will, like, take your soul for it. But
it's true.
Nice.
Honestly, yeah, I mean, when you don't know anybody, you think that you have no fear because you don't know if they're good or what. I remember I would play him, and I think I beat him the first couple of times. And then after a while, I started seeing him, and then we got in a routine where he would just kick my ass. And then I think I got it down where it's like I could really hold my own against him and kind of, I guess, I don't know, just hold my own against him. Then I just felt like, wow, I think I'm getting better.
Nice. So he was one of the big dogs, and
yeah.
When you finally were getting a hold of his play style and trying to learn some of the more advanced strategies, that's when you decided, or you thought to yourself, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I would also have to say that Adam Skis was probably like Nappa, like because Adam is badass at almost any game he plays, fighting game. But
awesome. Yeah,
he's pretty awesome. But he worked there when I first started playing, and he was like the king. Like no one could take him off. And then I started to be able to. I learned how to cheese a lot, and I would take him off. I mean. There's no compliments in cheese, whatever, but regardless, I would take them off. And I think, you know what, it was between those two is what made me feel like, wow, I actually kind of grew some balls in the game. So.
That's awesome. So who was your favorite team back then when you were first starting and when you were trying to learn the game and get some really advanced strategy going on?
I think my first team I got decent with was Iceman, Iron Man, and Doom. All I do was projectile and just pure stupid nonsense.
So were you really defensive back then, or were you more like Kenny? You would turtle for a little bit, and then once you saw that opening, you would go for it.
I would just straight up projectile and cheese you to death and run. So I was a little bitch, I guess. But I mean, you gotta learn some way.
It works, you know. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with that kind of strategy.
That was probably my first solid team.
Cool.
So
you eventually left playing Marvel or at least left Pocket Change. So what happened? How did you get disinterested in Marvel?
I don't know. I guess that was kind of recent, like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just got kind of bored with it. Almost.
Has it just been around too long? It's like everybody knows everything about it. There's
partially. I mean, playing the same game for however many years, you know.
Nobody could beat you, really. I mean.
No, I mean, like I said, I mean, there's Todd and Bobby are like my biggest nemesis. I would say. Yeah, but I would say they're better than me.
No, they're not. Sorry, Todd. Sorry, Bobby. But, no.
Oh, they're gonna get me for that.
I know.
They're all playing right now.
I know. They're gonna start calling you like we heard that.
Well, you heard me. I'm complimenting you guys. You guys are like my biggest rivals.
Yeah.
Ryu, Akuma.
They're good. Ken. They're hard to beat, and it's just I don't know. But there's something that you have that they don't like. Cause Bobby, you know the Magneto Infinite. Bobby's still learning it. You know, and he can't do it consistently like you can. I mean, it's like second nature for you, and Bobby has to really concentrate and work on it. And Todd's just like a really skilled button masher. That guy will just like, you know, press buttons till he hits you, and if he gets lucky, then he'll continue the combo. You know.
So speaking of combos and learning the Magneto Infinite and things like that in Marvel, how did you do that? If you weren't a real big part of like Shoryuken, or did you do research online, or did you just learn on the fly?
Well, actually, yeah, YouTube videos.
Okay.
That's it, right there. YouTube videos.
Cool. Is that how you like? Did you ever try to emulate like really great players' play styles just to start to learn how to use the characters?
I wouldn't try to take their style. I mean, the game's programmed to do certain things, you know, so everyone's eventually going to do the same thing at one point. But I just always wanted to learn how to do an infinite and then find my own way to get in there and use it.
To set it up.
That's probably the thing I would do most, would watch Magneto videos on YouTube.
Cool.
So
any other characters that you ever really had that much of an interest in?
Mainly Magneto. He's just...
He's the beast.
He's such an asshole. I mean, Cable, but it was so easy to pick him up. All you have to do is learn the Tiger Knee Hyper Viper, and you're done. Sentinel's up there too, but he just doesn't spark me the way Magneto does.
So all these big name characters in the game, they're obviously high on the tier lists that you see all around. How do you feel about tier lists? Do you think that there's really much merit to them, or is it just people playing those characters more often?
I don't really know what you mean.
Like, do the characters themselves, is there something in the game, like you said, that makes everyone eventually just use the same strategy? Just because it's the best one?
I would probably have to say yeah, because obviously it shows that it works, that they're the top tier characters for the bullshit that they can do. But me, I mean, yeah, I guess, they are top tier characters, but I enjoy what they do, so... Cool. But I mean, like, you'll see me pick Hayato, Ryu, and Spiral. You know that. I'll pick them against, like, TK's toughest team, whether I'm going to win or lose. So, because
sometimes you just want to play low tiers and just have fun. You know, TK, he kind of just gets in there and he's, you know, he has to be the top dog. And I think, you know, he's somewhat of the reason why some of... you know, the newer players, they get kind of scared away, is because, you know, TK has to come and be the top dog, and he has to try to dominate all the newer players, and, you know, then he starts talking trash, and they get scared. Whereas, like, Adam, Gabby, and Todd, you know, if they played somebody new, they, you know, they say, good match, you know, they would congratulate them for just sitting down and trying. You know, like we said in the last, podcast, you know, when I started playing, you know, they all kick my ass. They had no mercy. And they would sit there and they would say, good game, so you're really serious about it. And so they would say, try this, and this. Don't do this, and this, And they wouldn't be like, oh, you suck. I'm the king, So.
Yeah, another thing on tiers for me is some people will say, like, man, you use Cable, Sentinel, and Commando all the time, and you use Magneto, I don't even want to play no more, it's so annoying. But, like, I use them because I enjoy them. Like, I mean, of course, you want to win. That's the point of the game.
Exactly.
But, I mean, I honestly use them because they're so damn fun to me. Like,
yeah, I know.
It's
and
a video
it's
game,
With, Woody kind of whines and cries. He was like, Gabby was sweet,
right.
But then he started doing all that cheesy BS. And,
but you can say what you want, but I enjoy it. It's fun.
Well, it is because it kind of gives you that rush when you're in a match and you're kind of zoned in and you're trying to pull off something that's so hard. People think it's so easy, but I've even tried to sit down and do it, and I can't do it because I don't have the patience for it. To sit down and actually learn an infinite and to practice it and practice it and practice it until you perfected it, 95% of the time, that's hard work and that should be congratulated. I was kind of got sucked into TK's that's cheesy BS, but then when I kind of sat back and...
Then he'll come back and do an infinite with you with Blackheart.
Exactly, exactly. So then when I kind of sat back, when I kind of got older, I was like 16 at this time, but... when I kind of got a little bit older, I sat back and I was like, man, they worked really hard to learn this stuff, And guard breaking, I never heard of guard breaking until Gabby did it to me. And I'm like, no, I was totally blocking. What happened? And he would sit over there and laugh until until the
Viper beam.
until the match was over. And, he'd be like, that's called a guard break, and he would explain it to me where TK would be like, you gotta be sweet, He would try to keep things hidden
I didn't know that.
So that way you couldn't progress, but the other players.
That is another thing too. I don't know if anyone around like Ohio or the Dayton area got to do what I did, because like I would go to Vegas a lot. Everywhere I went, I would always look for a Marvel thing, a Marvel machine. And actually, I played in Las Vegas. 'Cause I have a lot of family there, so I go there pretty often. What is it? The casino, the Orleans. They have a Marvel cabinet there, and I've played some pretty nasty players there that I've learned a lot of shit from. So
yeah, didn't you go to Las Vegas when you helped your mom move and you just kind of walked in on Evo by accident?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what is going on? This
there were no big signs.
Everyone, it was crazy.
That must have been cool.
Man, Vegas is the place.
But you didn't have time. Did you sign up? Or did you think about signing up?
Yeah, you couldn't. You have to like.
Yeah,
I think there's like prelims. Like they have a whole other. I don't know how it works, but I think you have to win a tournament to get into this other qualifying match. To show that you're sweet and get in.
Yeah, it's kind of like they do, but I mean, like so many people go to watch Evo. It's just kind of hard to tell, who's competing and who's not, because they only do like the big players when they record their matches, and that's the only videos you ever see online. So you can't really tell if you've never been how many people actually get to compete, because I know they do like a East Coast, West Coast, Midwest kind of thing, where the top players from each section go out to Las Vegas to play. They fly in like Daigo and things like that from Japan for Evo, and I guess there's a big controversy about Daigo from this last
coming to the States to play?
No, they said they did a GameStop actually did a tournament when Street Fighter 4 first came out, and they flew in Daigo, and Daigo got beat, but somehow he magically won. So that's a big controversy there, but
like he got beat in the Japanese Nationals or something.
Something like that, and then automatically, he's.
And then they brought him over just because he's got that rep, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's politics, man. They have that in everything.
But hey, I mean, he's a popular player.
Yes, he is. He's pretty good. So yeah.
They're not so worried about the rep. They're worried about the spectators.
Yeah, pretty much.
Too, I suppose. So speaking of making your players happy, what do you think of the Xbox Live PSN Marvel? Are you excited about that at all?
I'm very excited about it if it plays smoothly.
Yeah, lag is always a concern, but because I think like 1 out of 10 matches for 4, you get kind of like a laggy connection. So, but
yeah, I just downloaded it. I didn't even get to play it. I didn't know you have to have like 2-player local match. I only have 1 controller, so.
Okay.
You can't do training mode in the new Marvel?
Just the demo.
Just the demo, but you can keep the demo to do training mode, can't you? Or do you?
It wouldn't let me do anything.
Oh,
so I think
see,
you can only
that's
do
a flaw because
a 2-player
people...
local match, and you can use 6 characters, I think.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah, it's just a demo. It's free. So.
Oh, the demo. So they haven't actually released.
No, not yet. They're not releasing.
Okay, so it's just a demo. I was gonna say they better have training more than that. People.
Oh, they will. They'll have all kinds of stuff, I'm sure.
Which.
At least it's better than using the Dreamcast forever now. People can start using their PS3 sticks. They don't have to worry about converters anymore.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. And you can still play it in the 4:3 mode. You don't have to worry about that weird widescreen that they're going to have. So yeah, I mean, it'll give the game a little bit of new life. You think even if it is a little laggy, you might still get online and school some fools? What do you think?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
I was actually thinking, it might have me have to dust off my stick now.
Yeah, you're coming out of retirement, buddy. So, I've been getting after you for the past year and a half.
Yeah,
He's been in hiding.
I think I might have to for this one.
I was playing you earlier, and what exactly is the Magneto Infinite? Were you doing it to either?
Can you explain it?
I can only do it on the stick. Right. Obviously, for everyone that knows how to do it. I do the slide method. It's all I do is my middle index finger. You have to quickly tap the air dash and have your joystick set to the diagonal that you want to dash towards, and you tap the 2 punches. And then you just quickly, actually, you just do one motion. You as you tap it, you're sliding, and you're just kind of skimming that low kick to get that, to keep your combo in connection, to connect that, and then you hit the medium kick. You know how you hit kick twice, then it's a medium kick, then automatically you have to air jump once again and
do it
tap
all over.
Low kick again, and then just keep doing it.
Okay.
But it's very hard just to kind of because when you get into it, because I would watch Gabby and them when they'd actually come over to our house and play. I would watch their hands, and it looks mechanical, but to actually sit there and hit those buttons and remember just to slide and not get too fierce with it, because you have to have a little bit of elegance and finesse with it.
Yeah, it's weird.
If you're punching the
like
buttons,
an art. It's like an art. That's why the game is so sweet to me. Like,
you have to be an artist with your fingers, because if you're sitting there punching the buttons and trying to slide, it's gonna be all janky. You have to do it smoothly and in one fluid motion.
It's so funny because I remember we were at me, Quan, Adam, and I'm sorry, I forgot who else was with us. But we went to a tournament in Newport sometime last year. It was probably when I almost quit playing. And I think I got 3rd or 4th. Mm-hmm. But we were sitting in the car, and I was talking to Quan, and I was like, dude, just how the hell do you really do the infinite? And Quan was just like, oh, dude, it's called a slide method or a claw method. And I was like, really? What do you do? He's like, you take your hands and he told me how to do it. I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then I went home, and I remember texting him the next day. I was like, hey, I think I got it down. And so from there, I started getting it down. Like, see, that's what I mean. Like, I had no one to teach me. Like, I met Chris Rose, and he was like, oh, dude, you got to push all 3 buttons. Like, he wouldn't really, I don't blame him. He wouldn't really show me. He just said how to do it. And it was just like, I don't understand. Like,
see, that's the thing when it comes to people who are really competitive. And they're kind of killing the scene because they're not sharing their knowledge. They're keeping it hidden, and they're like, oh, well, you gotta either sink or swim and learn by yourself. But some people, they can't learn by themselves. That's just, I think if people would, reach out a little bit more and say, come here, let's train and let's practice. We'll fight, and I'll take some notes, and I'll tell you what you did wrong, and I'll give you some pointers. TK, that's one of the problems with Pocket Change, is people don't go play Marvel anymore. One, because he, talks a lot of trash. And, he scares the players away, because he embarrasses them, he humiliates them in front of their buddies, and they don't want to go back and deal with that again, because that's just how it is, Yeah, exactly. He traumatizes them the first time they play Marvel, so.
I guess that's sort of what the good thing about communities online, like Shoryuken or anything else. That's why they're kind of valuable, depending on who's posting. You need some good information, not crappy. And then, like you said, Gabby, the videos. I mean, people will post videos, kind of show off, and you can learn a little bit and visually. But sometimes it's just great to have somebody sit down and just hold the controller for you, almost.
Yeah, pretty much. But like with the cheese, like with Woody and TK crying and things like that. But how I look at it is, if you have enough patience to sit there and learn it, then you've earned your right to use it. If you don't know how to use it, then keep your mouth shut, and that's your fault, not theirs, pretty much.
I just figured that's why they have other fighting games.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's true, but you shouldn't let what other people say, bring you down and bother you. You shouldn't even feel bad.
Oh,
because I remember I was teasing you one day over the phone. We were texting, and I said, Woody says you're not sweet with all that cheesy BS you do. I'm trying to watch my language. Cheesy BS you do. And you're like, man, I ain't got nothing to prove. Screw all them, because you got mad because you thought I was being serious. I was like, Gabby, I was just kidding, because I guess, he just got tired of hearing people calling him a, cheese bag and, a crappy player. And
people would definitely hate on that, man.
Yeah.
Like, me and Bobby show up like, oh, God, gotta pick cable now.
I didn't care.
See, that's why I love Todd, man. He'll fight anybody.
Same here with me. If I had the money, I would fight him, like... It's true. I wasted $40 one day when Gabby and Bobby. I did.
Wow.
I did because I wanted to win, and you guys were a challenge, and I picked low tiers, and I wanted to prove so hard that my team could do it, and pretty much, I guess afterwards, Bobby was like, you did prove something. You're not a quitter, that's for sure. And I was like,
that's what Bobby said?
Yeah. I was like, well, thanks.
I can see, you're not a quitter. So.
Yeah, he's like, you're not a quitter. But, yeah, I mean, I just, $40 in my pocket. I don't even think I ate that day because I spent all my money on Marvel. And, yeah, because we were all up there. It was me, you, Todd, and Bobby, and... Adam was there, Woody was there. That was back in the days when, I mean, just the area where Marvel was just packed with people. And I know Richard showed up every now and then.
It used to be...
It was amazing.
Packed. It used to be awesome.
You'd have to wait like a half hour until your turn came because that's how many people would be in line. So, I mean, we would play people would show up around noon, and they wouldn't leave till closing time. And if TK was working that day, we would stay after closing and just play.
Cool.
Play.
Yeah, it'd be like, I would come in around 1 o'clock, see if anyone was playing. I'd see one person playing, and then I'd jump on. Next thing you know, it'd be 3 o'clock, and then finally Todd and Bobby show up, and then we play for another 2 hours. And then next thing you know, like, they have to leave, and I get up, and then I see someone else walk in, like, okay, I'm going to keep playing then, like...
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to go back to tier lists just a little bit, just to talk a little bit about them. But talking about arcades, there aren't a lot in the Midwest. So, I mean, we talked a lot about this in the last podcast with Adam and Woody, because they had a lot of nostalgia, too, for the old arcades. So, I've heard a lot about game cafes. Do you think that, having just a place to go socially is better for fighting game players than playing online? Even if the connection was perfect, like if you had no lag, do you just find it more enjoyable?
Yeah, I think 100% it is. I'm for both of them, but yeah, I think if you have the time to go out and socially play, then it's way more fun than sitting by yourself playing.
Yeah, it'd kind of be like a Momo's almost, where you would have, it'd be like a cafe, you said, and you would pay like $20 to play all day, and I think that would draw in. You have like consoles hooked up, maybe collateral for like controllers, or you'd actually have the controllers hooked in, or you'd make them bring their own controllers and non-reliable.
Yeah, see, that definitely arcades are an awesome thing, and I'm all for them more than just sitting at home by myself. I think when it comes to the internet play, I love it just for the it's so instant. You just turn it on, you can play somebody.
Exactly.
Like, say I'm out on a Friday night, go to the club or bar, come home at 2 a.m., like, hey, I'm going to go play real quick, so I'm going to go fight some random person online.
Right.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
So
It's got its use. Yeah, I think that definitely there's a place called Big Robot Game Cafe up in Tip City, and I take a look at their website to see if they have any new games once in a while. I've never been there, but I need to visit, and I'd love to get a hold of that owner and find out how he does controllers. I mean, how does he keep them secure, and how do you license the games? Because he doesn't have any big fighting games like Soul Calibur or Street Fighter. So I wonder if it's difficult to do.
When it comes to that, you might have to, if you don't want to have to go through licensing them, then just use your own consoles. And you bought the game, so it's yours. You paid the money for it. Not everybody has money for a PS3, Xbox 360. So you're pretty much making them pay to just hang out, instead of loitering. So they're not...
I think there's something legal, like messy about that, though.
Yeah, probably.
It's like the companies will get angry if you buy their game.
They make more money off of it.
Yeah, their argument's like, yeah, well, these other people could be buying the system in the game. Why should you buy and then make money off of our product?
Because they don't want to spend months saving up for an overpriced
right,
PS3.
Yeah,
they want to play it now.
But I think that's why that they ask for the licensing fees, and there are all kinds of... There's like an iGames thing where all of the different game cafes can sign up, and then you get special fees or special prices from the different companies to get their games. It's something interesting to look into for sure. All right, let's go ahead and go back to tier lists. So it just so happens that in Marvel, there's just some really great strategies that happen, and it just so happens that they happen with Magneto and Psylocke and Storm. It could have been any character, really. I mean, depending on how the game had been made. Mm-hmm. So is it just like an imbalance thing within the game? It's not unfair because everyone can do it. It's just not everyone wants to. But if you want to win, what do you think?
Are you talking about it? Why the top tiers are the top tiers, or?
Kind of like, I think he's trying to say that, I don't know, explain it again. I'm not going to get tongue-tied over it.
Well, you got the tier lists, right? So are the characters, is it just something not really to worry about? I mean, the game is the game. It's the way it is. You know, it may be unbalanced. It's like unbalanced in the way that you can't use all the characters equally, no matter how good you are. Eventually, you'll learn the strategies, and it'll just kind of fall into place. You'll find out that Magneto has the infinite, or that certain assists work better together than any of the others. So, I mean, could it just be an imbalance with Marvel? I mean, and maybe that's just Marvel's personality.
Yeah, I think what it is the priority of attacks and the speed of the characters that make their tier what they are, I guess.
That and just how much damage they do, too.
That, too. It's just the way they created what they can do. Like, I use Ryu, and I can dash and do a jump kick, but with Magneto, I have an air dash. Like... Right there is kind of handicapped. Like, he's got an extra ability. You can air dash.
Right.
You know, so...
It's just about exploiting the game.
Exactly.
You know, and, people can complain about your cheesy play or whatever, but, I mean, if you want to win, then that's what you're going to do, because that's the best way to win. You know, and if you enjoy it like you do, then that's even better. I mean, like Amanda and you were saying, if you can pull off the infinite, and if you've worked so hard on all of these different strategies, then... put them into use. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's another thing too. I mean, just because you can do an infinite doesn't mean you're gonna win a match.
Right.
Because you have to execute. You have to get in there. You have to pierce their attacks, what they're gonna do, and counter it. But I mean, my thing is, it's not even all about winning. If you learn something from when you lost, that's better than winning and you ain't learned shit. You know? I would definitely rather lose than have learned something. That's how you build up. I guess it's how I got where I'm at.
Nice.
So
what about mind games? So, like you said, just because you know the infinite doesn't mean you're going to get it off.
Right.
So how do you set up some of your favorite combos in a match?
Oh, that's easy. Psylocke.
Yep, it's true. It's true. Psylocke, she's probably the best assist in the game for setting up combos and infinites. Like, you can, if you use Psylocke and Iron Man together, you can automatically do the infinite. You can, like, set it up if you call in Psylocke and you hit the person, and at the peak of where they're at, just jump up with Iron Man and start doing the Iron Man infinite. Iron Man infinite is a little difficult, because I think you have to keep, like, flying and unflying and things like that.
Oh, I don't even know that one.
And then, Psylocke and, again, Magneto. Magneto could juggle you all day long with Psylocke.
And Psylocke is just so instantaneous. She's... just so instant. She comes out and will pretty much go through almost anything, which is priority.
And when it comes to Psylocke, it's like I said, she's so fast.
And she even leaves real quick, too.
I know she does.
You don't have much time to attack
catch her. You know?
So.
And if you try to go fishing with her, you're going to get punished. You know, if you want to, bait them, because they're like, oh, God, I got to get that Psylocke out of there because she's tearing me up, getting me in all these combos and things like that. So you want to try to go fish for her. But then you have Magneto, who's faster than your character probably. He's going to get you and he's going to tear you up. He's going to, like, get off her, So Psylocke's kind of like the staple for high tiers. I mean, Psylocke with anybody really can make a team better just because of her anti-air assist. You know, Storm, you could pick them up off the ground with Storm. And, I mean, even before they have a chance to roll, and just do her air combo into the lightning dash and into her lightning storm. It's crazy.
So when you're playing, Gabby, there's something I've heard of called footsies. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Do you think about that a lot during the match? Is that part of this thing that just subconsciously in the back of your head, you know the ranges and know which moves will beat what?
I don't know which ones will beat what. I just try to make mine beat theirs.
Okay.
So, I don't know the exact ranges, but I mean, after you get familiar with the game, I guess it comes like second nature.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, like the hitboxes, the frames, and all that stuff. But definitely, I use a lot of jabs to poke and open up, like short attacks, because obviously the short attack's gonna beat the strong, slow one, you know. So you want to use that speed to poke and get in there, which I'm sure all these skilled players know all about, you know.
Yeah, it's really just knowledge. You get new players like me coming in, and we'll just kind of try everything.
Right.
You know, we'll try everything, and we'll get our asses handed to us.
But then you learn. You see.
Right.
The more you play something, the more experience you get, the more you understand which moves will trump which other moves on which situations. So when you get two very highly skilled players, it almost becomes like a gamble. Whoever messes up first, or whoever guessed right first. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So like you'll see Justin Wong, who'll lose because he accidentally fucked up. And it might not have been his fault. He's the controller or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's how good people in any fighting game can get.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel is part guessing game, skill, footsies, and like I said, gamble.
Which I think can tie to almost any fighting game. Yeah. There's just different styles.
But with Marvel, there's just certain things, and they're so rare because then you're like, oh my god, that was BS. Like when we were just fighting a little bit ago, or no, it was you and Nate, because he had Morrigan, and
my girl.
Yeah, you did Sentinel's fists, you know, and he was wide open with her projectile. Yeah, and the fists were just going right by her, and she was still in her projectile, and then she blocked. I mean, she should have got caught with that.
It's like I had some invincibility, then the first wave
it lasted
me, and
forever.
I had time to block.
You know?
It's crazy.
So, I mean, there's just little silly things that happen, and it's like anticipation, gambling, you know, guessing game footsies.
Marvel because, like you said, Anchor, they just kind of threw it together and said have fun.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's what we made it.
Exactly, everybody has a lot of fun.
Chaos.
They never expected players to figure out all this weird stuff. They thought they were just gonna be mashing buttons and doing all this crazy stuff, and I mean, and it never. I don't think the game ever came with like a real like with the booklet. Like they gave you the basic moves.
Yeah. They
didn't give you like really the specials or anything. There was no instruction on how to do their, you know, like quarter circle back, 2 punches, 2 kicks, you know, things like that. They never taught you how to do that because they're like, oh well, they'll figure it out. This is why we gave them the 2 assist buttons to just punch them and then do your super.
Right.
You know, you could do it manually if you want, but they never really foresaw that Marvel would be so crazy, like it would explode into something big. I know it got second on a top 10 fighting games, and Third Strike got first place.
Hey, Third Strike is the best fighting game ever. I can say that, and I'm not good at it. Because
you just enjoy it.
You have a parry. There's no excuse for cheese. If you're that sweet, parry everything.
Yep.
And you have a red parry too. The game's awesome.
Nice. Let's see here. So I'm gonna have the PowerUp tournament. Do you think that you would come to that?
I'll definitely come, yeah.
Yeah, I did, because I asked Gabby if he would be interested in doing a triple threat
could
match.
Be our main event.
Yep.
As long as I'm not busy that date, so...
Well, we'll get in touch with you.
Keep it open, Gabby, for the summer. Like, anytime in the summer, once we get a date, because we still have to clean out the garage, things like that, and plan where things are going to go, what we're going to have. Get it out there, advertise it, and we still have a lot to do, actually.
Yeah, we'll get in touch with you and make... And who else did you say? It was Chris Rose?
Chris Rose and Richard's friend, Matt. I don't know his last name because I've only seen him, like, twice in the last 2 years. Like, once a year we get to see him, and, I mean, he has supposedly one of the best Sentinels in the
I haven't played him, but I'm sure he's gonna smash me with them.
Well, if you could beat Bobby, and Bobby's pretty equal with Matt. I know Todd got thrashed by Matt, but yeah.
See, we're all on the same page.
So at those high levels, does it become less about knowledge of the game because you all have the knowledge? Does it become more about the kind of harder things to really quantify, like the footsies and like the mind games and getting your opponent to do what you want when you want by training them, by messing with their head with certain moves? Does it become like that at really high levels?
I would have to say yes, it does. Because even at times I'll be playing Todd, and it's just like, oh, I got this. But he'll just talk so much shit and throw my game off. I'm like, fuck you, man. And I will never hit any air dash correctly. Like,
yeah, he'll be like, get over here, you little bitch.
Yeah,
you know?
and then sometimes, yeah, I know. It is just, it's funny, but and then it's like, when it gets you angry, it messes your game up because you're not focused correctly. Like,
yeah, because like if you're trying to set something up with Todd, there's one time Todd just made me so mad because I was trying to set stuff up, like I was trying to turtle a little bit, kind of try to do both, and call him in so that way I can get him with Chun-Li's anti-air assist and just hit him with the hailstorm, but he would come in and jump back because he knew what I was trying to do. He'd be like, get over, you little bitch, and he would just tear her up. And I would be like, get off of her. And then he'd get one of my characters with Tronbon, and he'd be like, get that shit out of here. And I'm just like, oh my god.
Just like at the arcade, when it gets kind of hostile, when people are talking trash, just like you said about TK, it really throws your game off. You don't play as good.
Right, because
And then you almost don't even want to play. You either want to just leave or you want to fight, and it
shouldn't
be like
much.
that. You shouldn't be like that. It's a fucking video game.
But when you get people in there that are so competitive and they want to be the top dog, like I've sat back when I've been broke and I couldn't play, I would sit there for hours and watch them play. And I wouldn't. And, Todd, he'd be in there like, come here, you little bitch. And then, they would catcall. Seriously, they would catcall each other. And Woody will get in there. Woody told us about the time.
Woody's just fun to play. I don't care.
But
he's so loud, he just makes you laugh.
Like he'll get up in the chairs and he'll be like, oh! And then when he gets somebody in like a Zangief, he'll be like, I am really psycho! and he'll get up everywhere.
Yeah, Woody is like...
But he's
like the Mr. What's his name? Mr. Satan?
Yeah,
Dragon Ball?
yeah,
that's
pretty
Woody.
much.
He is like the character with all the sayings.
I just watched like the Perfect Cell saga a couple of days
really?
ago.
So yeah, and I mean like Woody, like he'll like when he goes big knee, you'll think he's gonna do like Zangief's big knees where he's coming at you with his knees, and he's not, And he told us about one match that you had against him, and you guys were playing low tiers, and he was like big knee, and he was like saying moves, and you thought he was doing them, but he wasn't, and he tore you up, and then you came back with your high tiers and just tore him up. So
no, Woody's always fun to play.
That's awesome.
Woody's always fun to play.
Yeah, I think at the high levels, any fighting game becomes more about just the strategy and trying to train your opponent.
Yeah, real quick, I think that might be one reason why I got bored of it. When you get at such a high level, it almost feels like homework. Like when you want to get good. And Daryl said that before too. When he said it, I was like, dude, you're right. It doesn't even feel fun. I think that's what happens when you get so competitive.
Yeah, that's when you just need to take a step back, take a deep breath, and play some low tiers, buddy. And have some fun, and just take a break for a little bit, not for a year and a half. Shame on you.
Well,
and,
I mean, I am pretty busy. So
yeah, breakdancing and everything, and
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen him.
Came from like you had a
Wright State University thing, and he got
some sort of deal going down.
Yeah.
So
cool.
this year's been picking up. So I mean, you can check out my whole crew, CircleNerds.com.
Hey,
CircleNerds.com. Go on.
Awesome.
Come on. Go ahead.
Plug it a little bit.
CircleNerds.com. CircleNerds, I believe, .com. It's my whole b-boy crew, which I actually had some ideas of collaborating everything to throw some kind of huge event, which I want to talk to Nate about later or on this podcast.
I think that would be something crazy.
Have
some break dancers out front. There you go.
Okay, I had ideas. I was trying to tell Amanda, Anchor in the car, I told you I had some ideas about stuff to put together.
I told him once he saw the garage, like, his head will explode, because that's what happened with me. You know, because we're planning on doing, like, you know, food and drinks and things like that, and everything we make will
Once
go for...
we get some sponsors, man, we'll be able to cover your crew, come in, you know, we'll probably be able to pay you.
That's what we've been working on now. We actually have 2 sponsors, but they're local sponsors, so money is kind of an issue. Yeah. But I was thinking about, I just had so many ideas about fusing. I mean, my biggest hobbies were video games, cars, and b-boying, breakdancing. And I was like, if I just put that all together, something could come out of it. Like,
no, that would be. Do you think that you would be able to run your crew and play in Marvel on the same day?
Well, I wouldn't enter any of it. I would just.
Oh, okay.
See, I wouldn't be that person. You know what I mean? I would just make sure everyone's having fun. I don't know. It's an idea right now that we could just combine something. Because imagine
for the exhibition match. And
imagine, you have your video game tournament, which you can have a good turnout. You have your b-boy battle. And every time there's a car show, there's always people that come together and they're always talking shit about anything.
Yeah, I know.
So if somehow you can
my engine's better
do
than
something,
your engine.
You know, I don't know. It's an idea. It's up in the works right now.
No, it sounds great, man. Something to keep people entertained while they're waiting for games. I mean, the only thing we had planned outside was a grill. But if you guys could come in, lay down some mats or something there, we might be able to have the driveway out there paved flat sometime soon.
It'd be awesome.
That big hole where that house used to be is going to be a fountain sometime soon. So
He's going to swim in the fountain.
It's going to be pretty awesome around here for a while until things get so big that we have to move somewhere else.
Oh, I know. And I was thinking, man, b-boying, cars, and video games. I said, I don't even know if we have enough room for all of that.
And the funny thing is, in each one of those categories, I feel like I can draw a pretty decent crowd because those are my 3 things. And in each one of those, I pretty much know everyone in like this local area.
Awesome.
So if you could I could round them all up, you know.
I've seen some pretty killer local like antique car shows around here. Mm-hmm. So I think there's definitely a group of people interested in that sort of thing.
$10 venue fee isn't bad for all that stuff.
Yeah, that would give us an excuse to charge a venue fee, free entertainment.
Bam, there you go. There you go.
Food and drinks and things like that.
It just takes a lot of planning. You got to have your finances all in order and make sure everybody's getting paid and make sure you get everything in the black. You know, we don't want to be like all those banks nowadays.
Right.
We do not want that to happen.
And that's something you and me could work on, you know?
Definitely, yeah. So. We'll definitely have to keep in touch through Amanda or just I'll get some
definitely, exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Don't call him. Because his mailbox is always full.
Text. You gotta leave a text.
Text. So. Yeah, all my friends, they don't answer their phones either. It's always the text. I think they have their ringer off, but the text is like the loudest thing ever. Right. So, yeah. But no, that sounds awesome. Definitely looking for some way to make this tournament a bigger event for the community around here. Mm-hmm. And if things get really big, like we could become the next season's beatings, except better.
I hope so.
So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of big ideas. You just need to have. Sometimes you just need to start small. Like maybe not the cars the first time, but maybe the breakdance battle.
I know for sure I could. I don't know, get my crew just to do stuff.
You just do exhibitions. Right. You know? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, start out small. Then once you get a good idea, because I've never run a tournament before, and we're talking about something pretty big for a first timer. But, I mean, if I can get it all planned out, get it all sat down, get some agreements with people and sponsorship, then, I mean, why not? And then once things, if it goes well the first time, maybe get some help, get some volunteers the next time around, and then really start to build it up. I mean, that's the goal for the Midwest, is to really get this fighting game community built up however we can. And I'm sure that at EVO, they may even have, like, some entertainment value from... I don't know. Do either of you know if EVO has like crazy entertainment that comes in?
I think it's just games.
Yeah, I was gonna say
just games.
I highly doubt it.
I mean,
no one better steal our idea.
Yeah. Right, we'll do it better than EVO.
Yeah, that's right. Screw EVO. And season's meetings.
I'm afraid not enough people would have the drive around here to go through with this idea, but I do, so we will get it done eventually. I'm looking at this summer. Actually, I'll be back in school, but. I can handle being a B student, if I have to. Straight A's for all of my normal schooling. It's like, that's not important anymore. I know what's really important. Fighting games and dancing.
That's right. Fighting games and dancing.
Just need to make sure you get a good job out of college. That's all.
Exactly.
Once you're done with that, then you do whatever you want.
Well, some people do, like, throw tournaments for a living.
Yeah.
Every month. Yep.
That's why I'm majoring in mass communication. You never know when I could just transition so easily into being the next Evo here in the Midwest. Who knows? But those are big dreams and something fun to talk about, but you got to start small somewhere. And that's what I'm doing. So we talked a little bit about mind games. Let's see here. We actually had a pretty good talk about ambition just now. Just trying to go over the talking points here. So do you think you're going to disappear again? From Marvel or...
Disappear as in...
Like, take a year off.
I don't...
You vanished, pretty much. Like, texted into your back.
Do you need a new game to play?
I think that's probably what it was, and I don't think Street Fighter 4 was enough for me.
Yeah.
So...
Is it too old school? It's like everything's kind of a rehash?
I love that, but it's just too confined.
Okay.
Like...
It's very dictated.
Have you played Tatsunoko vs. Capcom at all?
Not yet, but I'd love to.
We can play it today.
You have it?
I've got it. I've even got a PS2 to GameCube arcade stick, so you can use that same stick.
Holy shit! That's awesome.
That's right.
That is awesome.
I've heard people complain about Tatsunoko. I think it's a lot simpler than Marvel, but it's also fun on its own, and it's a new game to learn. It's got the Baroque, it's got the advancing guard.
You have to hook me up. I will ask you about it later. That's awesome.
Awesome, yeah. No, I'm like, I get all this stuff, and I love sharing it with everybody. That's my thing.
I love Tatsunoko. I've only played on the GameCube.
Tatsunoko! That's what everybody
Tatsunoko!
says.
I've only played on the GameCube controller.
Oh,
because
we didn't have. Stick.
Oh, I know. And Chun-Li, she's sweet. So I gotta say, she can't be beat. She can't be beat. Chun-Li, you could do her spinning bird kick right into her level 3. It's crazy.
So you've been out to Vegas and you've seen some of the game scene out there. Is it vibrant out there?
I've only been to like some of the arcades and the casinos, and I mean, obviously there's more people playing there. There's just more people there, but I mean, yeah, I would have to say that there's way more going on there than there is here.
Is it just a matter of getting things going? Are people around the Midwest just lazy bums, just sitting around? Like, I wish we had this and that, but I'm too busy, watching TV.
Honestly, it could be that, because we're just way more reserved over here, I mean, we do have a lot of shit going on in Ohio, but, I mean, everything's just more reserved here, So
there's a lot of I wishes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If this and that.
The broken promised land of Dayton. Like,
that's right, and we're trying to fix that,
horrible.
so.
Yeah, who knows? Just keep PowerUp. Centralize it in Ohio. I mean, Vegas has got Evo. I think the coast at least have maybe one big event. I'm not sure what it may be. But, yeah, we'd be at the heart of it all, stealing Ohio's tagline. But that would be pretty awesome.
What's really great about Dayton, it's like right smack down in the middle between Columbus and Ohio.
Exactly.
So, and even Akron. So.
Make a deal with the mayor of Dayton. It's like, I hear you guys are having trouble with crime and everything, but we'd like to bring this uber awesome tournament to the city. What do you think? It's like, oh, that's awesome. We will give you all the sponsorship money. It's like, well, thank you very much. I enjoy that.
Then you wake up.
Then I wake up. Oh, it was just a dream. Oh, it was a good dream. I'm going to go back to sleep.
We could get Shadow Hair. To come and fight crime.
No.
He is the real-life Cincinnati superhero.
Shadow Hair?
Yeah, he makes citizens' arrests.
What? Wait, so what happened? Say that again? What's going on?
Shadow Hair. In Cincinnati, he has a team, the Allegiance of Heroes, and they are in full costume. He almost looks like Spider-Man with a cape in the black suit.
Yeah, but he has, like, this metallic silver, hair on his, like a rabbit, kind of like on his...
And the big thing that they do is they go around giving sandwiches to the homeless, and if they see anybody in trouble, like somebody getting mugged, he is claimed to have dislocated his shoulder trying to help a
lady from a homeless man
being mugged from a homeless man. And then there's this whole network. It was on YouTube, and there was a legitimate news story, and there was a network of superheroes around the country with real costumes and real superhero names.
They kind of took it from the Registry Act. They kind of took it from
Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War, because it's a superhero registration act.
It is pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, maybe we can get Shadow Hair to come and keep an eye on the proceedings.
We should do a podcast with Shadow Hair and see if he likes video games.
Yeah, see if he wants to throw down.
Yeah. I wonder if he would come in costume. He would have to.
No, he would have to, because that's the secret.
We would have to make the first PowerUp video cast for that, so people would realize that he is in full costume the entire time. Oh no, his YouTube. He only has like 3 YouTube videos. One of them is just a high quality version of one of the others. But it was pretty. It was interesting because I'm a martial artist. I always ask myself, if that kind of situation ever pops up, what am I gonna do?
You're gonna get your kendo stick and bust somebody.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, real quick, can I ask you a question?
Oh, go for it.
Is that how you got into fighting games? Because
Yes.
martial arts, that's how I'm into them.
I've always been sort of the consummate gamer, and my friends, they love the hell out of fighting games. I mean, that's like their stuff. Street Fighter, Brawl. They really like Brawl when I introduced them to Melee.
Aaron couldn't be beat last night.
I
He
know,
just
it was
couldn't. Street Fighter
crazy.
4, couldn't be beat.
But yeah, I see a lot of people probably laugh when I say this, or especially my martial arts friends. I think it's weird, but I see a lot of similarities between the games and the real life. Obviously, it's different. You're not getting punched in the face for real in a fighting game, but the mind games, the knowledge of movesets, the ability to read your opponent and know what they're going to do and train them to get a certain attack and feel that rush when you counter perfectly. I see a lot of similarities between the real martial arts and fighting games.
Yeah, I agree. I grew up, a lot of people in my family fought and stuff, and I guess I had that naturally in my blood, my mindset, and I don't know, ever since fighting games were able to be played, me and my cousins and brother would just play them, and I just grew up playing Street Fighter 2, and so I mean, even in breakdancing, when you battle, it's combat. This whole art of combat is just the same, whether it's contact or not. Obviously, the video game, yeah, you're contacting each other, but you're just playing, you know what I mean? So there's no contact.
Right.
I don't know, it's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's
Even
cool.
in sparring, sometimes I'll think of it as a game. Everything's really a game. If you think about it, you've got winners, you got losers, you got rules. There can be no rules, but that's still a set of rules.
Exactly what I was going to say, yeah.
So yeah, I think it's really cool to kind of compare and contrast those two worlds. And I like being competitive without having to hurt anyone. I like the competitive spirit. That's why I don't always spar, but when I do, I enjoy it. But I'm not going to go out and sign up for the cage fighting.
Right.
I'm not into fighting on that tangent. But fighting games, you've got your rule sets. You've got everything that you can do, and that's just how you do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's really fun. I love martial arts. I've loved it forever since I was young. Got back into it. It's been about 3 years now. I've been going to Brown Institute.
Cool.
And I feel just kind of relaxed there when I go now. And I'm hoping that eventually I'll feel that relaxed with fighting games, because I've played them forever, of course, but I've just recently got into them and really decided to start doing the research and everything. So maybe after a few years of playing Street Fighter 4 or Marvel, then at that point I'll start feeling comfortable doing the launchers and getting my combos. So yeah.
Hey man, if you need help, just let me know.
Awesome. Sounds great. We still got a little bit of time, so let's see here. Let's talk about a good match. A good match. You've got somebody else you're going up against. They got the same kind of knowledge as you. How does it feel to win in that kind of match?
Kind of just feels like you were drawing the better set of cards, and you just feel good. Like,
cool.
Bam, you won.
Do you really feel down on yourself when you lose? Do you lose?
Oh man, I lose all the time. I'm telling you, I'm no legend. I lose all the time.
So if you're up against somebody and it's been a good match, it's like I'll play online with C Viper sometimes, and I'll know that I've done horrible, and I'm like, that was horrible. But sometimes when I have a great match, it's just like, it's all right that I lost. I played my game. He outplayed me. He got lucky or whatever it may have been. But I feel like that was a great match.
Yeah, for me, I just feel like as long as I know I did good and I could have won and I learned something from losing, I feel like I won.
Nice.
So sometimes you can win 50 matches and almost start to get big-headed and you just forget the whole basics of everything else. So a lot of people get drawn up into winning. They just, their head blows up and you turn into Akuma.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, Amanda said that you were Goken.
Now you're Goken.
Are you coming back to being
Ryu? I guess she gave me that title because I just thought I was Ryu. That's my favorite guy.
No, because you started out Ryu when I first met you, and you were playing low tiers, and then you kind of dabbled in the dark arts, and then you let the Dark Hado consume you, and you became a high tier player, and you started
Evil Ryu.
Evil Ryu, and you started whooping everybody, and then finally, when nobody could really, make you learn anything new, when nobody could really touch you, when you just kept winning too much, you finally became Goken, and you're just like, I'm at peace now. I'm gonna go play another fighting game.
I guess I could settle with that title, but...
How many tournaments have you been to?
I've only been to, less than 10.
Yeah.
Or less than 10.
Have you done reasonably well at each one?
No, some of them, like Seasons Beatings, I didn't have a controller, I didn't have a joystick, so I had to use some janky Dreamcast controller, which was like, why am I even in this?
Yeah.
And then local tournaments were, pretty good.
Do you think that if you had the time and money and the drive, would you sign up for something like EVO or go to a qualifier?
Yeah, if I was good enough, I don't see why. No.
You're good enough. You're just lazy. You don't want to go out there and drive. You just want to go b-boy.
That's right.
Hey, that's cool, man. I mean, whatever does it for you. It's just a matter of finding that game or that activity that you just love to do.
Yeah.
That's something that I'd like to do with the PowerUp. I mean, it doesn't have to be straight up EVO style with video games everywhere. It can celebrate all kinds of culture around here. I mean, I just think that the Midwest doesn't get enough exposure for anything, really.
No, it doesn't. We're just kind of in the middle, crime. Yeah, that's true. Cleveland was, I think, the top dangerous city next to Detroit.
I was going to say Detroit is probably number 2 then.
Yeah.
I mean, if the video games can bring people together and then everything else can be on the sides and then people can look at that and say, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. I mean, it's just cool to bring in all kinds of different stuff going on in an event like that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
Need something for the ladies to watch, like b-boying. They'll sit there and be bored all day. So I'm kind of one of the lucky ones who like to actually watch matches. So I feel bad for Randy and Hillary once upon a time when they would come to the mall and sit there for hours while Bobby and Todd played.
Randy, which one was Randy? Doing the Air Force or something?
Randy. No. Randy's a girl. Randy's Bobby's girlfriend.
I thought she was Brandy.
No, it's Randy.
Oh, my bad.
Wow. It's like I've heard of Charlie's, but never of Randy.
Yeah. I've heard of Randy.
Randi. Yep. So, yeah. They'll watch you hot gentlemen out there b-boying. You guys have to do it with your shirts off to keep them interesting.
So funny. I always have to have like a lot of clothes on when I break.
I know. I don't know why though. Do you feel like more secure?
It's like my body armor, I guess. I don't know.
Especially if you're like spinning around, you don't want like a cardboard burn
or
anything.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Don't you wear a beanie when you break dance?
Sometimes if I go on my head, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We're gonna have to check that out.
It's my spinning bird kick. That's what I call it.
That's awesome.
You need to yell it out like spinning bird kick.
Oh, yeah. The big thing with the tournament is just getting the turnout, and for that you need to have people out there passing out flyers and getting information out there on the forums and everything, and getting people hyped up for the event, really.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna get, like I said, business cards for the website, and it may not start out too big, but I mean, if we get a few dedicated people, like your crew, or is somebody else interested from like the local towns, Miamisburg, West Carrollton, small business, somebody to sponsor, then if we can keep it going, maybe twice a year or every few months or something like that, then it'll eventually grow if we keep sticking at it, keep poking at it, keep getting around, keep expanding, But yeah, it's going to be pretty cool once we finally get that first tournament to fruition, no matter what happens, because it'll just be great to have everything worked out. Well, we are running up on about an hour, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Everybody's kind of zen now. It's like, this is going to be awesome once we get around to it.
We're all just thinking about it. Our brains are like towards the future.
But we had a lot of great discussion about Marvel, and I really like where Gabby's coming from with kind of learning the characters. And, it doesn't really matter what strategies you use. If you can win with them, then go for it. And if the strategies in the game just happen to be the best for certain characters, and if you want to win, then you'll use them, and hopefully you'll enjoy them like Gabby does. I mean, that's just awesome. I've never heard anybody complain or really say that they like using all of the different infinites and all of those cheesy play, as they say. So I guess one last thing about the Marvelicious lingo that they use. I mean, is that even cool to you?
It's just funny.
It's funny.
It's
It's
funny.
just laugh at you. Skit, twing.
Yeah.
So.
That could be like another barrier to new players coming in.
Yeah, they're like,
they don't
what is
understand
a
what the
skit,
heck
skit,
he's
skit?
saying.
Speaking in tongues.
Right.
Definitely not hanging out with them.
They're possessed.
Oh, well. Well, all right, then. We will go ahead and wrap it up. This has been PowerUp Podcast, the podcast, episode 3 with your host, Nathan Shields, a.k.a. Osiren. You can visit us at the website, www.powerupfighters.com. You can email questions, comments, and suggestions to my personal email address, osirun@powerupfighters.com. So please, if you have any suggestions for future podcasts or anything else you may want to hear, if you're a local listener and you've got the itch to be on the show, or if you know of somebody who's a great player or a great organizer who would also really be great on the podcast, go ahead and drop me an email. And remember, when you visit the website, subscribe to either our news feed or the podcast itself via iTunes. And I will catch you guys later.